Here we go with the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Celtics are in a close game thus far. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Boston Celtics. The Pistons aren't down by too much at the half. And that deficit is a negative, of course, but I do see it positive. I really like how they move the ball, keeping each other involved offensively. They've got a nice flow to their game today. These are the guys getting buckets for the Detroit Pistons.
Game track. Steals.
The story of this game so far has been the lack of ball security. Neither team can hold on to the ball, and unfortunately, it made the first half kind of tough to watch.
Player of the half.
Tatum is doing everything he can on defense to get the win. He's blocking shots, he's getting steals, and he's setting the tone for his team.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this. Fellas, back to you.
Tight game through the first 2 quarters as we resume play here in the third. It's Detroit's ball. Ish Smith to Reggie Jackson. Curling inside. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. Knocked loose. Pistons have it. That's out. Last touch by Al Horford. Johnson to Smith. Rebound Horford. Oh, it took a little longer than Celtics fans would have liked, but Jay, they re-signed Marcus Smart. You look at what he brings. He's a modern-day defender with some throwback qualities as well.
He reminds me a lot of Dennis Johnson that used to play for those late Celtic teams. He's the guy that will get in your face, he'll pick you up full court. Even if you switch off and he's guarding a 4, he'll battle behind the 4, push him off the block. There's no doubt about it. The DNA of this team starts with Marcus Smart and also Marcus Morris. These are the 2 toughest players on the Celtics organization.
Pistons ball here to Stanley Johnson. To Smith. Drummond. Jackson. Tatum grabs the rebound. To Marcus Smart. Here comes the screen. To Rozier. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Terry Rozier trying to cash in on the three-point play. He's shooting 40% in this one. The free throw good as he completes the three-point play, and the lead is up to 9. Whistle stops play, and we'll get a timeout here for Detroit as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. To Smith.
There you go. Watch him. I got you right here.
Good look that time, but off the mark.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off 2 legs and expect the contact.
To Smith. Driving right to the basket. Ish Smith. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Ball's controlled by Boston. Turned away by Drummond.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
The Celtics down to 4 in the shot clock. Has a chance. It's no good. If he takes those shots, he'll be back on the bench in no time. Down for Smith. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
But most importantly, you have to keep the ball moving. Maybe run some floppy sets, some horn sets. Raise those bigs up, which open up the lane, and let them be the passers to make plays easier for the guards.
Here comes the screen to Rozier. Boston with 4 to shoot. To Horford. And throws it down.
The passing has been great, but the movement without the ball has been even better. Seeing a play before it happens is a skill set a lot of people don't talk about. But a great pass combined with great movement, good luck with that.
Now the Pistons going to use a timeout as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Oh, the whistle. Jay, take your hands off of me.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Griffin. Second effort. Al Horford sends it away. That's his 3rd block this evening.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Hayward. Tatum. Rebound Drummond. Pistons have it.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
And stuffs it down.
Well, look, you can't be caught flat-footed on defense. You need to be on the balls of your feet, especially in transition. You have to jab at that guy with the ball, head jab him. Make him think that maybe you will take him. Maybe you'll fan out to a defender on the perimeter, but still keep him guessing. But when you don't do that, that's easy money.
My ball.
I got help. I got your help.
What's that screen?
Knocked loose. Pistons come away with it. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Let me tell you something that nobody will ever talk about. Did you see him slow down right before he was about to go up? That slow change of speed, that slight change was just enough to throw the defender off.
Celtics have it. Not giving up on that play. The result, a tie-up. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Knocked loose. Celtics come away with it. Whoa, Jaylen Brown above the rim.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Turns, hops, and and finishes. The abuse at the rim for Blake Griffin. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
Deep three at the buzzer. Long key from three-quarters court. That's the end of the third quarter. The Celtics way out in front. Pistons basketball here to start the fourth quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Kyrie Irving. He struggled just a little bit, 2 for 5. If he keeps playing like this, we all may believe that the earth is indeed flat.
And that's what you love about Kyrie. He's constantly probing. He's probing on the court by maintaining his dribble, and then also probing off the court with saying lines like the earth is flat. The fact that that was on the cover of every magazine, the headline of every social media title, goes to show you that Kyrie is great at hijacking your amygdala, both on and off the court.
Kyrie can't connect.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Beyond the arc for 3. That's Smart with the rebound. Irving into the front court. His team leads it by 10. Textbook defense. Aaron Baines pins it. That's his 3rd block this evening.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Marcus Morris, strong finish.
Just wait a second, Ed. Wait 1 second. Can we go back to the play before this great play that we just saw? Just because you have a bad offensive possession, you can't allow that to go down and reciprocate itself on the defensive end. 1 bad play does not make 2 bad plays. You have to bounce back. That's how you play this game.
Griffin.
Shoot it, shoot it.
Doesn't have the touch. No good. The follow won't go either. A bad pass as the Pistons come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Oh, look out. Blake Griffin. With that, he's 5 for 9.
In the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
From the painted area, won't go down.
But you can't just be a one-dimensional player. I know you're probably frustrated by me even saying that, but when you don't even give the option to pass the ball by utilizing some head fakes or ball fakes here and there, you save the defender by keeping them on their toes with the element of surprise.
Timeout Boston. That's their first. Leaves them with 1 remaining the rest of the way.
And I've been seeing a lot of barking back and forth between the players and the fans. I actually like that. I think that gets the players more engaged in the game, in particular sometimes when the game seems like it's dead air.
Kyrie with the rock. To Marcus Morris. Here comes the screen. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
People at home, did you know that Aaron Baines played rugby growing up? He knows no other way but to be physical on the court because that's how he leaves his mark.
Jackson. Brown with it up top. The lead stands at 10. And finishes strong.
And if you're on defense on that last possession, no need to look over to the coach's bench, hold up your arms, wonder what did you do. Everybody got back, everybody communicated, everybody pointed. It was just better offense than there was defense.
Hayward to Marcus Morris. Short jumper stays out.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's the player he thinks he is and we all know he is.
To Luke Kennard. 4-3. It's Hayward who grabs the rebound.
The game is won in the details. The team who has the most attention to the minutia is out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Pass stolen by Detroit.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
The ball in the hands of Kyrie Irving. To Jaylen Brown. Hayward to Jaylen Brown.
Fight through.
Nothing going here on that drive. To Irving. Here's a chance from long range. Message received. Well defended.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
There's the whistle and an intentional foul. Just their first in the final 2 minutes, so no free throws yet. They'll take the ball out of bounds.
Smart play. You have fouls to use. Good way to manage the clock without burning a timeout.
Now here's an intentional foul. So free throws coming up in what is an 8-point ball game.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
Notch down the first. Two for two on that trip. Whistle stops play, and we'll get a timeout here for Detroit. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench.
Save 10% on all merchandise when you purchase 3 or more items at one of our arena stores. This offer is only valid during today's game, so take advantage of this great opportunity.
Griffin to Luke Kennard. Going to launch beyond the arc. Horford with the rebound.
Uh-oh, lock-up time.
A lot of contact. No whistle. Well defended.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Hey, switch, I got him.
It's a victory here for the Celtics as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
David Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Celtics got themselves a win here today. Sometimes a team can hurt itself by being too aggressive on defense. And sometimes a team can guarantee itself a win by using defensive aggression in a focused way, like we saw here today. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Boston Celtics. The Pistons didn't lose big, but it wasn't exactly close either. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Check out the leading scores for the Detroit Pistons.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
The Boston Celtics were able to stretch the defense because of how effectively they were scoring from long range. The opposition couldn't make the necessary adjustments. and now have to settle with a loss.
Player of the game.
Tatum put together an incredible game, highlighted by his amazing defense. Not many guys come up with this many blocks and steals.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here's our top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
That does it for us. On behalf of the rest of the crew, good night.